Wiggle, snap, story time! Today's story is Little Red Riding Hood. It worked! Okay, once upon a time, a little girl named Little Red Riding Hood, that's me, was packing a nice dinner to take to her grandma's house. My grandma was sick, and even though I had to walk a mile, I was ready to help my grandma because that's what good kids do, right? I packed up a sweet dinner, liver and onions and peas. Oh, you don't like that? Okay then, fruit roll-ups, some pizza, ice cream, and 4 Twinkies. Okay, good choices. Now, there's only one good way to get to Grandma's. It's right through the scariest forest you can imagine.
That's not scary.
Oh, my bad. Better?
Yay!
Good. Whoa, but then someone or something snatched my red hood. And snatched my basket of delicious snacks. I've been robbed. Kids, robbed by a wolf. I said a wolf. And the wolf was wearing my red hood. That's a little girl's hood. He could stretch it out, the darn wolf. And he just looked silly, too. Then he spoke.
What is a little girl like you doing all by herself in the woods like this?
Going to my grandma's house, if it's any of your business. And it's not, so please give me back my stuff.
Aren't you a sassy lassie? Maybe I will go to your grandmother's house and eat her. What do you think about that? Put some sauce on her, maybe some ketchup or mayonnaise, I don't know.
Oh, no, you won't. You're not putting mayonnaise on my grandma. I yelled, and I kicked, but the wolf ran off. And wolves can run pretty fast, even when they're wearing little girl's red coat that doesn't fit quite right. I had to get to Grandma's, and fast. There was a dangerous wolf in the woods, so I ran.
Faster!
Run faster? Okay. Okay! We're here at Grandma's house. Let me in, Grandma! There's a dang wolf outside in the woods, and he's stealing little girl's clothes and parading around, and And this time, he's wearing my grandma's nightgown and sleeping cap. He even had on a pair of her high heels. And he was licking his paws, just like he'd eaten a snack. Or maybe, my grandma, what can I do? He's a wolf. But I had an idea. It was a good idea. I ran, and I ran, and ran, and ran, and ran, and ran really, really fast. Okay.
Like a cheetah!
Like a cheetah? What's that sound? It's like a clack, 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 clack. Is that the big bad wolf? And he's still wearing my grandma's high heels. And you'll understand one day, it's impossible to run in high heels. Then, right there, with his twisted ankle and his belly full of my grandma, he started to get sick. It was really gross. The big bad wolf threw up.
Ew!
He threw up all over the place. He threw up my grandma. Oh, don't worry, she was fine, not a scratch. He threw up all the fruit roll-ups and the ice cream and the pizza and the Twinkies.
I don't feel so good.
It was gross. But it gave me and Grandma time to get away. We called the police and the firemen and animal control, Dog the bounty hunter, and everybody we could think of. And I'm happy to tell you the wolf was caught and sold to the circus. And now, every year since, Grandma and I go to the circus when it comes to town just to laugh at the big bad wolf. He doesn't know any tricks or anything, but it's just funny to see a big old wolf wearing high heels. Today's story is Jack and the Beanstalk. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Jack. So Jackie, that's me. I lived with my mom. To make our living, we had a cow whose milk we sold for money. Let's just say we weren't rich. One day, Bessie stopped making milk. She was an old cow, ready for retirement. Maybe she wanted to move to Florida. She had some friends down there, fulfilling their milk bucket list. Mom told me we would have to sell Bessie. We had no choice. So the next day, I led my dear old friend, Bessie, to the town square. On the way, we ran into an old wolf who told me he'd love to take Bessie.
May I offer an interesting trade for your bovine friend there?
No, sir. I need a cellar.
Okay. I guess you don't want these magic beans.
What kind of beans? Because I don't like lima beans or pinto beans.
I said magic beans, kid. They're totally magic and are worth more than you're ever gonna get for that old dried up cow. If you're not interested in these very valuable, very magical, exotic, and definitely totally real beans, I'll find someone else.
I'll take them. Wow, with magic beans, I could.
What?
Oh no, I didn't ask how they worked. Oh man. I got home and hoped my mom would just forget about the whole selling Bessie thing. I would just play it cool. Yeah.
Magic beans? There's no such thing as magic.
She was right. What were we supposed to do with 3 little beans? I tossed the beans out the window and headed up to bed. But that night, something amazing, dare I say, magical happened. A giant beanstalk had grown outside our window. What else do you do when you see a giant beanstalk? You climb it, duh. At the very tip top, just above the clouds, I saw a yard and a house. A big house. I was hungry for breakfast, and I figured a big house like that would have some really big snacks. No puny fun-sized candy bars here. I let myself into the giant house. Gosh, who lived here? A whole NBA team? There was a maid inside. She was normal size. What was she doing in such a giant house?
I'll give you some table scraps, and then off with you.
She gave me a bit of bread. It looked like a big crumb, like a crumb from a giant sandwich. I stuffed the big breadcrumb into my knapsack, and just as I was about to leave, I heard,
Faithful thinner, I think I smell my dinner.
I hid, and I just saw the most giantest giant imaginable come in. Ruh-roh, was I for dinner? Also, not to nitpick, but it's technically breakfast time. But back to the issue at hand. There was a giant! He started to count a bunch of gold coins. He must have had like 1,000,000, nay, a jillion. I waited until the giant got up to go to the bathroom to take a giant bath. I grabbed a sack of gold and hightailed it to the beanstalk. Listen, I know stealing is wrong, but I thought maybe it would be okay because he had so many coins. He wouldn't mind. So I showed my mother.
Young lady, you march back up there and give that man back his gold. There's no such thing as giants.
So the next day, I went back up the beanstalk. I decided I would just leave the coins by the doorstep. And I saw the strangest thing, a golden goose, and it was laying golden eggs. Oh, Mom would never believe this. So I took a picture with my iPhone. She'd have to believe me now. I picked up one egg to get a few shots with me holding it. And then the goose started honking like a traffic jam. I had to scoot. Oh boy. Then I heard,
Fee-fi-fo this. Who the heck is bothering me goose?
I had to get out of there. Why was I messing around on a giant's turf? I ran for it and skedaddled down the stalk. Unfortunately, I still had the egg. Oh, blarg. Mom saw it and told me to return it.
There's no such thing as a golden goose. That egg is just a decoration. I've seen one just like it at Macy's.
But I had an iPhone photo. So up I went. I was going to just set down the egg and leave. Simple as that. But then I saw the coolest treasure ever. A golden guitar. It started playing by itself. Cool. Wait a second, I recognize this guitar. I had seen a TV news story about Professor Science, a nice but strange inventor / scientist guy who lived in our town. He had made a golden guitar. It was a gift for the mayor. It was on the news because it had been stolen. Wait a second, I'm not a thief. The giant's the thief! I was just gonna leave and call the police, but the guitar started playing again, loud. Darn rock and roll. I ran like a cheetah. The giant, he started to chase me. Oh, he followed me right that silly gold guitar was still twanging and riffing and totally shredding. My mom and some other townsfolk heard the racket and gathered around the Beanstalk. Then my mom, one of the most gentle, nicest, sweetest little ladies in the world, she started chopping down the stalk with an axe. Wait till I get down there, Ma! I got close to the bottom and jumped. Just as she yelled, "Timber!" And thud, the giant fell. I told the townspeople about the stolen treasure up the Beanstalk. The police arrested the giant and the fire department extended their ladders all the way up to the sky to go get the rest of the gold stuff. The mayor gave me a reward and we used it to buy a new cow. And my mom finally believed me that giants, golden geese, and magic are all real. It was a happy ending. This story is The Three Little Pigs. All right, here we go. So, once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs who lived at home with their mother. The time came when the pigs weren't so little anymore, and their mom decided to buy a condo and move to Florida, where she could play pig knuckle with her friends by the pool. She told the pigs, "It's time you set out for the real world and find homes of your own. I'll send you a postcard." So off they went. The first pig found a nice location and decided to build his own house. He'd heard of building huts with straw, so he went shopping for some. Target had a huge sale on crazy straws, so he bought all they had and commenced to building. It turned out to be a really neat looking house, although it leaked a lot when it rained. But it was very pretty. The second pig decided he should use sticks to build his house. He bought popsicles in bulk at Costco, and after a 2-day feast of ice pops and a lot of brain freeze, he began his house of sticks. It turned out okay. The walls were thin, but they smelled like fruity popsicles. The third pig was never one to cut corners, and he found a good contractor to build his home. Hiring a contractor and a construction crew was expensive. It took almost all his money, but he wanted a home that would last. The other pigs made fun of him and bragged about how much money they had in their banks. That's right, piggy banks. But the third little pig moved into his new brick house and was quite content. Well, maybe a little lonely. Yep, that night the bad old wolf went out on the prowl looking for a snack. He had seen the little pigs building their houses and thought he'd stop by uninvited. He arrived at the first pig's house. He snarled,
Little pig, let me in.
The pig called out,
Who is it?
I'm just a nice old lady. I'm lost. Let me in.
No, that's a wolf! You sound like a big bad wolf, so not by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down.
Go ahead and try. I built it myself, then.
The wolf blew down the house with a little huff and puff just like that. Let's watch that on instant replay. And boom goes the dynamite. The little pig hightailed it to his brother's house made of sticks, and that bad old wolf followed him. There was a knock on the door.
Little pig, let me in.
It's the wolf.
No, I'm just here to deliver the mail. La la la, I'm the mailman.
He said it's the mailman. It's nighttime. There's no mail. I'm telling you, it's the wolf. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. He's gonna huff and puff and blow your house down, man.
And he did. The wolf huffed and puffed and he blew the house down, sticks all over the place. The 2 little pigs motored out as fast as they could. You've never seen 2 little legs move so fast. And that bad wolf, he followed them right to the third pig's house. Safe inside, the pigs told their brother about the wolf. The doorbell chimed. Ding dong. The third little pig used his security system to check who was outside.
Oh, little piggies, don't be rude. Let me in.
I don't think so. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. Gotta say, I've had a pretty good track record so far tonight. I'm 2 for 2, just saying.
Very well. Do what you wish.
The wolf huffed, and he puffed, and nothing happened. Okay, it was the third house of the night. He could do this. He huffed, and puffed, and still there the house stood. It It was very sturdy. The little pig buzzed through the intercom.
How are you doing out there? I might have to call the police if you don't leave.
The wolf gasped and gulped for air.
You gotta wait till I huff and puff and I'll blow your house.
The wolf fainted. The three little pigs cheered. Yay! The third pig called the authorities and he had them come and take the wolf away. The first two pigs apologized for poking fun at the third little pig, and they offered to pay rent if they could just stay with him for a little while. He told them, "Mi casa es su casa," which in Spanish means, "My house is your house." I think I mentioned that pig is pretty smart. And the three little pigs stayed in their big brick house together, and they lived happily ever after and never ever heard from that big bad wolf again. The end. Today's story is Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
I was right.
So, once upon a time, there was a little girl named Goldilocks.
Wait.
Oh, yes. That's better. So, a little girl named... What? I get it. Goldilocks. A little girl named Goldilocks, that's me, was walking by a really scary swamp.
No!
Oh, too scary?
Yeah.
Sorry. There. So, I was walking through a sunny meadow filled with puppies and flowers. Aw, it's so cute. And then I happened upon a house. Well, I was getting kind of hungry, so I decided to stop and see if they had any snacks. Hello? No one answered. So I just went in. Lucky me, there were some snacks on the table. 3 whole bowls of broccoli.
Ew!
Oh, no broccoli? Okay. I meant there were 3 whole pizza pies. Better?
Yeah! Awesome!
Okay, so I started to eat from the biggest pizza. But it was Meat Lovers Supreme or something. It had pepperoni, sausages, hamburger, anchovies, mushroom, garlic, and onions. Yuck! Do you like garlic and onions?
No!
Me either. So I moved on to the next pizza. It was weird. No cheese at all. It just had a bunch of vegetables on it. Come on, it's pizza. Do you want an all-vegetable pizza with no cheese?
No way!
Yeah, there's a time and place for vegetables, right? Like on your brother's plate.
Ew!
So I moved on to the smallest pizza, and boy, oh boy, it was just right. Just the right amount of cheese, a few pepperonis, and a dipping sauce for the crust. Delicious. I ate it all up. Then I felt like watching some TV.
Well, you subscribe.
They had some stuff TiVo'd, so I checked it out. The first show they had saved was a National Geographic special on grizzly bears. Too scary. So I tried the next selection, but it was some show about catching fish. Kinda boring. So I tried the last show they had TiVo'd. The Muppet Show! It had all the shows with Fozzie Bear. Just right. Then I realized I was really sleepy. I decided these nice folks probably wouldn't mind if I just took a little nap. I found a bedroom, and there were 3 beds. Oh geez, I had to make another decision. So I tried the biggest bed, but I climbed up and it was like trying to sleep on a big rock. That bed was not comfy. I tried the middle one, but it was like trying to take a nap on a bunch of cotton candy. Too soft. Well, I tried the little one, and you'd think I'd see the pattern by now, but boy, oh boy, this is just right.
Wake up!
What?
Bear!
Oh yeah, I woke up, and there were 3 bears looking right at me.
Run! Like a cheetah!
No, kids, you don't run from a bear. You have to make yourself look huge so they'll be scared of you. Okay, second line of defense against a bear, make them laugh. Bears love comedy. So what I like to do is find a funny video on YouTube, like the one, Charlie bit my finger, or the dramatic chipmunk, or just any funny cat video. Yeah, something like that. And those bears turned out to be really, really nice. And we just sat around all afternoon watching funny videos and laughing and eating ice cream and honey. So that's the story of me, Goldilocks, and my 3 new best friends, Berry, Teddy, and Gummy. The end. Thanks for coming to Storytime. Can't wait to read more stories with you at Storytime soon.